mic up. This is legacy in motion. For vision of victory, trailblazing the path. Mind sharp, words heavy, every bar got class. Iconic by nature, pioneer by design. History in the making every time she aligns. Doctorate dreams, but the roots run deep. Built from the grind, now the whole world speaks. Culture, purpose, power when she steps in the room. Drop gems so real, make the future zoom. Yeah.
This is iconic pioneers. Hear the story unfold, where the fearless lead and the truth gets told. Every voice legendary, every lesson precise. Hosted with wisdom, Dr. Tabatha Russell on the mic. Press play. Stay ready. The movement starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Iconic Pioneers podcast, the space where disruptors, trailblazers, and bold thinkers gather to rewrite the rules of success. I'm your host, Dr. Tabatha Russell, and on this show, we will go deep with those who aren't afraid to lead differently, those who are building legacy, impact, and authority that echoes for generations. Now, I just have the amazing opportunity to be here with one of the guys that is changing up how you do IT and how you break into the industry. Okay, Mr. Andres Blandon is absolutely amazing. Welcome in, Andres.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Tabatha. I am super excited to be here to share in this mission to impact lives. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it is definitely so amazing to have you here. Now, I am looking forward to this conversation on today because I know that you are doing some amazing things with helping veterans specifically to really get into their next stage of their career. So if you will, share with everybody exactly what it is that you do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So as we've spoken in the past, I am an author, speaker, and a career strategist. As a military veteran myself, having been to combat, transitioning out of the military, it was just a daunting task for me because there was nobody there to really tell me what to do or how to do it. And what I realized that I wasn't alone in this mission and the challenge that comes with trying to create a new identity, going from the military into the corporate space and having to overcome a lot of the obstacles and challenges. And now I teach and guide others on how to land IT careers making over six figures within their career lifetime.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That is pretty awesome. Did y'all hear that? Six figures. Okay. So tell me, Andres, what does it mean to you to be an iconic leader in this day and time, right? Because there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of things going on out there. What does it mean to you?
So for me personally, an iconic leader, it stands for responsibility. And one of the things that I realized coming from the military is that we were always looking out for our brothers and sisters that stood beside us in uniform. And stepping into the professional private sector, it also means that we have to lead the way and lead by example. One of the things that I think it's crucial is for me to be able to go through the steps that I teach others how to follow and the steps to take in order for them to be able to achieve the success that I've achieved in the past as well.
I love that. Just knowing that you've already, proven your process, right? The strategy that you use is already been tested. It's already been tried and you're walking in it well. So tell me, what was the defining moment when you realized that you weren't built to follow the crowd?
Yeah, so one of the things I realized is that a lot of these lessons came not because of a moment of clarity, but from a moment of pain. I want to be very vulnerable here and just say that when I transitioned out of the military, I actually ended up going through bankruptcy, going through financial struggles, and it put a big strain on my family. And ultimately, that was the point that I had to make a decision, right? I could choose to live like everyone else and just pursue the minimum things that I could do to get by. Or I could say, it's worth it to take the risk. It's absolutely worth it to step out and be different and become a leader by taking on those challenges head on, as opposed to waiting for others to try to provide a solution for me.
Oh, that is so good. And first of all, thank you for the transparency, right? Not a lot of people like to talk about that B word, right? We talk about a lot of others, but that is a defining moment for sure when you say, okay, I got to do something that's going to change some things, that's going to allow you to be able to move forward. So, share with me, how do you balance though building wealth, because you're back on top, yes, influence and impact without sacrificing your authenticity?
Right, that's super important. I realized, again, with communicating with leaders as yourself, that being authentic is really the way to connect with others. And one of the things that's so important is that within this digital age where a lot of organizations are using AI, using other tools to create mass content, it doesn't always necessarily come across as original, authentic, and as a natural connection. People want to connect. And one of the things that I've learned through our relationship and our communication, Dr. Tabitha, is that I have to be able to tell my story and be real with where I am and what I'm doing in order to see where I need to go, the steps that I need to take in order to achieve the next level. I've had to do that multiple times over, and I appreciate you just really honing in on that type of question.
Yeah, so I definitely understand that, all of us have had a journey, but you haven't had walked out your military career, you're transitioning, and now you're helping others to really do that. That is definitely a thing that you don't see a lot of times in the marketplace. Like, a lot of people are telling you how to do things and they've never experienced it themselves, right? they're going off a theory or something that they read, or something that a friend told them, right? So for you, it is that you've actually charted the course. So what's a myth though about leadership or success that you believe needs to be dismantled immediately?
Oh, that's a great question. One of the things that I've come to realize, being in various different organizations with a hierarchy structure, is that those that hold the title hold the responsibility and the authority. And the reality is that being a leader is about who you are as an individual, as a person, and the way you uphold yourself and the values that you have. So, identifying yourself as a leader, taking personal responsibility for all your tasks, and something that stood out to me from one of my mentors is that the way you do anything is the way that you do everything. And it really
Mm.
reflects a lot on who you are as a person.
Yes, I believe that to be true, right? The way that you do anything is the way that you do everything. And I know that operating in the spirit of excellence is everything, because it is your representation of how you do things, first of all, but then secondly, just the experience that you want to leave with your clients and your customers. I believe that we get the opportunity to have a interaction with most people every day, with somebody, right? At least. But we get to leave an impartation, right? We get to go and leave what we call a expansive experience, right? Because we just don't want to come in, they're going to remember us, right? So I know that your success leaves clues. So what's a daily habit or a ritual that keeps you operating at an iconic level?
So, for me personally, one of the things that I've learned to do daily is to reflect both on my past and my future. And my past essentially is being able to look back and see how I've overcome challenges. And it really instills in me the faith that any challenge that's going to come in the future, I will be able to overcome. Again, not because I necessarily had all the answers or all the resources at the time being, but because I was willing to take on the challenge. I was personally making myself responsible to learn how to overcome, and not just for personal benefit, but because I knew this would impact many lives that I would come across.
Yes, it definitely does make a difference when you make it now your own personal responsibility, right? I know that a lot of the daily habits that you do allows you though to set the tone of your day, set the tone of your week, and even set the course for the rest of your business. So there's a lot of things, a lot of times that we have to do that helps us to be focused and stay on track. So on the show, though, we talk a lot about leadership and luxury and legacy here. So, how do you personally define luxury as a leader?
Yeah, one of the things that I've actually just had a conversation with one of my mentees, one of my clients was speaking about what motivated him to make the steps required to become successful. And as we were laying out his career plan, career strategy to be able to grow his career, I mentioned that there's different stages, there's different levels of success, there's different levels of luxury. And at that moment, a lot of it may seem as though it's stated in numbers, such as a salary or an hourly rate or how much income you're generating per month, per week, per day, per hour. And ultimately, what that really translated to in our conversation is that for him, he's focused on the quality of life. The quality of life means where are you living? What kind of car do you want to drive? Where do you want to go on vacation? What kind of experience and memories do you want to build around with your family, with your loved ones? So that number essentially translates to something so much greater. And it has to do with that luxury, right? The ability to create memories and to be able to create a different quality of life for yourself and your loved ones as well.
Can I just say, yes, that is awesome because we all could potentially define luxury in so many different ways, right? So it definitely does come down to the individual. Now, it is nice to have the dollars in the bank account, right? However, creating an experience that you'll never forget is so much greater than that, right? Because the money, it can come and go, right?
That's right.
But if we're not careful, right? But having that memory is everything, right? So I know that that in itself is definitely a luxury. So talking about that, legacy is more than wealth. So, what legacy are you intentionally creating for generations to come? Because I know you mentioned about being a family man, and I know that that is of extreme importance to you. So, what does your legacy look like?
So for me, that's a very good question. Recently, as we spoken offline, was that I was able to publish my book. It's called The Proven IT Career Success Framework. And I specifically gave it that title because this is the framework that I've used personally in my own life, in my own career. I've helped hundreds of veterans transition into IT careers, making high six-figure salaries. And as I mentioned, it's not just about the dollar number, it's about the quality of life, the things that it's doing for them, for their families, for their self-esteem, so many different areas that's improved because they took the steps and they followed the framework. So one of the things when it comes to legacy is the way that I am being remembered. And one of the things that I think about is because I do this for my family, for the people that I love, the quality of life that we have and the memories that we're creating, I always want to make sure that they understand that, right? I want to communicate, that as a leader, I want to stand forward and create this, not just an image, but a memory, a way of being remembered that is going to impact people. So impacting hundreds of veterans has been such a successful, a feeling of being able to achieve success on a personal level, not just in a financial and a business sense, but the testimonials that I received, the way that I hear people saying, Andres, you changed my life, you changed my family. My wife is on board with everything that we're doing because they see the results. And that is so rewarding for me as an individual and as a leader as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting here and I'm like, the results don't lie, right? because we want to know, first of all, that whatever it is that we're sharing with others, that it works. And with you having had gone through it yourself, but also to now take others through it and see that it works based upon the testimonials that you receive, that is awesome. And that says a lot, because that means that not only are you putting in the work and they're putting in the work, but they're getting results. You're changing families. Wow. Like zip codes. That is awesome at the end of the day. So what's the boldest risk, though, that you've ever taken in your career? Because I know you talked about the military and now transitioning into IT, but how did that reshape your trajectory by you taking that bold risk?
Yeah, one of the greatest risks that I would say, it's a twofold, honestly. It's first of all, being able to step out on faith, because the imposter syndrome can sometimes be very, very real. The lack of courage to be able to step out when nobody may believe in you at that moment. And you really have to find that faith within yourself to step out and do what needs to be done in order to achieve success, even though you may not see the results for weeks or months at a time. And that sometimes comes with a financial investment as well. So there's been times where I purposely taken the step of faith and invested tens of thousands in my personal development in order to become the leader that I needed to be to achieve the success I wanted to achieve. So when it comes to that, it is spending a little bit of financial investment within myself, but overcoming that doubt, that fear that comes with stepping out of faith. And even though there's never a guarantee, but one thing I know for sure is that if I didn't step out of faith and if I didn't invest in myself, then the guarantee that I would succeed would be zero. So anything is better than nothing.
I love that. I agree with you as far as investing in yourself. I tell people that a coach needs a coach, a leader needs a leader, a mentor needs a mentor. Whatever area you're in, you need somebody that's doing exactly what it is that you want to do, that they can help to show you the way, right? Because they have the proven blueprint, just like you're doing with your clients. And investing in you actually can help to accelerate the pathway, right? Because I too invest in myself, and I will do the most when it comes to that. I believe that you should invest at the highest level possible available to you. Whatever that may look like, do it. And don't skimp on it. Don't think twice about it, because I personally lost a lot, right? I tell people I made one decision, lost $500,000, the house, the cars, all the things. And I didn't have a team around me. I didn't have folks in my circle that knew more than I knew. I was basically leading the way. So when I turned around to look, there was no one there at the time with the information that I needed. So having had gone through that, now you won't catch me out here in these marketplace streets without a team, right? An attorney, someone that's looking over the insurance, a lawyer on staff. All of that does make a difference. So I know that you are well on your way to continually doing some amazing things. But for those that are listening who feel led to question their power, right? They want to lead, but they let me do that question again. We'll edit this out, okay? For those who feel called to lead but question their power, what's your message to them? Because I know that somebody's thinking about, you know what? IT might not be a bad field. I think I could do it, but he said 6 figures, so I don't care what it is. Turn me loose, right? And myself having an IT background as well, I absolutely love technology and the way that AI is going today. A lot of people say, oh, they're coming for my job. Well, can I just say they're not necessarily coming for your job. They're just coming for those that know IT or know AI, right? They want to get those that actually is partnering with the newer technology. That's all. So I will say, what will you share with them that's feeling like they want to get out there, but they're still a little nervous or have some anxiety around it?
Yeah, Dr. Tabitha, I think one of the qualities that I've been able to nurture over time is to have a very passionate, persevering patience. And what that means is that I'm very passionate about what I do and what I want to accomplish. So I was always focused on my ultimate goals, even when dealing with the day-to-day grind or the day-to-day steps that I had to do when it came to building the right mindset, the right skill set, and the right tool set to achieve success. And having that persistent patience means that even though I may not see the results within a week or a month, the ability to continue on meant that I was planting the seeds that I would, the right time, produce fruit. And essentially, that's what happened. I continued on and continued on to continued on, and the market rewards the effort that we're putting into our skill set, our mindset, and our tool set. So that's really what's been able to help me to stand out from the crowd and ultimately be strategically positioned to become a leader in the industry as well.
It really does make a difference, right? When you're investing in your mindset, your skill set, and your tool set. Come on now. Who can compete with that, right? That definitely allows you to be steps ahead of the competition. But I also like to say there is no competition when you're in your own lane, right? When you are doing what you're supposed to be doing and following your purpose. So thank you so much, Andres, for sharing that with us, because I know that this is definitely the season that people want to sharpen their skill set, right? Sharpen their mindset and their tool set, because that's going to help them to become the people that can steward the next level. And it really does make a difference. So share with everyone finally how they can connect with you, because I know somebody is like, okay, go ahead and give me the information already.
Yeah, I would love to do that. So again, the first thing I wanted to mention, I'm very excited about the Proven IT Career Success Framework book. It's available on Amazon. You can reach me personally through LinkedIn at Andres_M_Blandon. And my personal website for specific career coaching, career strategy is www.blandonsg.com. That's Blandon Strategy Group, blandonsg.com.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much. And it had definitely been a pleasure having you here on today. I am sure that many people will want to hear more from you. So we'll have to invite you back again to find out how it's going with helping others break into the IT field. So thank you so much. And thank you all as well for tuning in to the Iconic Pioneers podcast, where we don't just build brands, we build blueprints for generations. Remember, icons aren't born, they're built by those bold enough to lead unapologetically. Until next time, keep leading, keep building, and keep breaking every limitation. Andres, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tabatha Russell.
Thank you.
This is Iconic Pioneers. Hear the story unfold, where the fearless lead and the truth gets told. Every voice legendary, every lesson precise. Housed with wisdom, Dr. Tabatha Russell on the mic. Press play. Stay ready. The movement starts now.